Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.
While most of the families decided to weather the storm at the campsite by the river, Kevin and Dalton took Lily, Phoebe, and Miranda to higher ground in the woods. But once the storm began and Kevin went into their tent, Lily didn't think it was appropriate for him to be in there with Phoebe. "What's the problem? We're not on a date, it's a tent. Do you want me to go out there and get soaked? Or should I throw Dalton and Miranda out of their tent?" Kevin complained. He really didn't understand what Lily was thinking. How could she be worried about Phoebe's reputation instead of thinking about her own husband's comfort? "That's okay, Lily. It's such a heavy rain and it really wouldn't be safe for Kevin to go outside," Phoebe said quietly. Plus, she really didn't find the idea of staying in the tent with Kevin all that unpleasant. "See, Lily, Phoebe doesn't mind," Kevin said with a smile. Lily was at a loss for words. She just rolled her eyes at Kevin. This whole situation really made her feel uneasy. After that, the three of them lay down quietly and waited for the storm to pass. After an hour, the thunderstorm still didn't show any sign of letting up. Suddenly, Kevin remembered something and leaned over. "Kevin, what's going on?" Lily, who wasn't able to sleep at all, asked him cautiously. "Did you guys hear something?" Kevin asked in alarm. Phoebe listened carefully and understood right away. "It sounds like someone is calling for help." "Not good," Kevin replied as he quickly opened the tent zipper. Lily and Phoebe heard Kevin complain as soon as he stepped outside. "Damn, it's pouring." The rain was certainly very heavy and Kevin could barely see where he was going. He called out to the other tent. "Dalton, are you asleep? If you're awake, follow me down the hill. I think the rest of our group's in trouble." Suddenly there was another loud thunderclap. It sounded like the sky was being ripped apart. "Kevin? Nope, I'm not asleep yet," Dalton said as he quickly came out of his tent. Kevin called out to the women in both tents. "You three should stay up here. Whatever you do, don't go down to the river." It took more than 10 minutes for Kevin and Dalton to find their way down to the main campsite. They were stunned by what they saw. The river had risen at least 6 feet. Not only did it wash away the tents, but there were also some trees that had fallen, forming a natural dam. The rest of the group was treading water and holding tightly to the trees and bushes by the shore. They were trying desperately not to be washed away by the water. Fortunately, they had all had swimming lessons in their fancy pools, so they were safe for the moment. But they couldn't hold on much longer. "Kevin, you really should go into business as a fortune teller," Dalton said as he gave his friend an admiring look. "We can talk about that later. For now, let's find a way to get them all up here," Kevin said very seriously. He looked around and found 2 long vines that must have been 5 inches in diameter. Kevin stood next to a tree and threw the vines down to them. "Hey, can you hear me?" he yelled down at them. "I just threw you some vines. Pull yourselves up with all your strength." When they heard this, they all looked up at Kevin. Some of them suddenly remembered what Kevin had said earlier. He really wasn't looking for an excuse to leave. Some even regretted not listening to Kevin's warning. "Mr. Williams, pull me up first. I'm too young to die," one of them yelled out. "Get me out of here. I promise I won't laugh at you anymore," another one called to him. They all started shouting frantically. Then another tree fell into the water and there was a loud scream. They were frightened out of their wits. Kevin and Dalton looked at each other and couldn't help shaking their heads. Sure. Now they were being nice to Kevin. "Stop arguing and help each other climb up here. Ladies first," Kevin shouted to them. Then he saw Officer Emmett in the crowd and called out to her. "Why are you still waiting? Get up here." Officer Emmett was surprised when she heard this. She didn't expect that the first person Kevin saved would be her, but the vine had gotten very slippery from all the rain. It took Officer Emmett a long time to climb to safety. Just as she was about to lose her grip, Kevin reached out and grabbed her arm. Then he managed to get his other arm around her waist and helped her to the clearing. He'd saved her life. Seeing this, Blair, who was still in the water, suddenly shouted, "What are you doing? Watch where you put your hands!" When Officer Emmett heard this, she got very angry with her fiancé. "What are you talking about, Sherwin? Just for that, you'll be the last one out," Kevin yelled. With Dalton's help, Kevin quickly pulled everyone to safety, except for Blair. "Everyone, go up to the small clearing where we pitched our tents." Then Kevin turned to Dalton and said, "Would you please lead the way? I'm sure they'd rather listen to you than to me." "Okay, no problem," Dalton replied. In fact, even without Dalton leading the way, everyone would have listened to Kevin at this point. They may have learned from their mistake. "Kevin, what are you doing? Don't you see that I'm still down here? Hurry up and save me!" "I'm sorry, Mr. Blair. After saving so many people, I don't have much strength left," Kevin shouted back. "Stop stalling! You're just trying to get even with me." Just then, another tree suddenly fell into the river. It was less than 6 feet away from Blair. This frightened him enough to make him see how much he needed Kevin's help, and he shouted, "Kevin, please save me. I don't want to die." "Kevin, I know everything that Blair's done to you, but please save him for my sake." He was so tired of this arrogant bastard fighting with him and insulting him every time he tried to help him. He was the worst combination of arrogant and powerful. If he rescued Blair, Kevin was sure he'd still have trouble with him in the future. "Maybe I'll save him, but you have to say the magic word. Please," Kevin said very seriously. Immediately a smile appeared on Officer Emmett's face. She knew very well that Kevin was giving her a chance. "Please," Officer Emmett said shyly. "I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you," Kevin said with a grin. "Please, I beg you. Please save Sherwin as soon as you can." Kevin suddenly turned around and shouted down the slope to Blair. "Do you remember what you said to me?" "Kevin, that's enough," Blair screamed. "Since you've forgotten what you said, maybe you don't need my help after all," Kevin shouted to him. Then another branch suddenly fell next to Blair, scaring him so much that he almost lost his grip. "Kevin, please, I'm begging you to save me. I really don't want to die," he sobbed. "Are you sure you want to come up here in the woods? You know there might be cougars here," Kevin taunted him. "Yes, I admit it. I arranged for someone to dress up in a cougar costume. Now please save me. I'm too young to die." "A fake cougar? It can't be. How could you do such a thing?" "I wanted to look like a hero in front of Kelly, so I found someone to pretend to be a wild animal." Officer Emmett froze when she heard him say this. "Do you still want me to save him?" She didn't answer Kevin's question. She just quietly turned around and walked away. "Consider yourself lucky," Kevin said as he threw the vine down to Blair. After he had climbed up the slope to safety, Blair saw Officer Emmett walking away. He didn't even say thank you to Kevin before chasing after her. When Kevin returned to the camp, Lily immediately jumped out of the tent. "Kevin, did you save them?" Lily said in disbelief. "Not all of them. Dalton also helped." "Kevin, I'm so proud of you." Lily had already asked Dalton about the rescue when he came back to the tent leading the group. When she found out that it was Kevin who had saved everyone, Lily was stunned. As she thought about everything that had happened today, she simply couldn't believe that everyone still despised her husband and called him a loser. "It's still raining hard, and it's kind of chilly. Why don't you go into the tent and rest?" Miranda had been poisoned by the golden fruit that Dalton had picked by mistake. Kevin knew that this kind of fruit was very rare, especially this far north. He didn't want any of them to be damaged by the floodwaters. When Kevin got down near the river, he looked around and finally found 2 trees that still had some undamaged fruit. It looked like there were about 20 that had survived. The night passed very quickly. The next day, nobody was really in the mood to play, so Blair's family managed to get where there was cell phone coverage to call for some limos to come pick them up early. Kevin and Lily rode back with Dalton and Miranda and a few other guests. After a few minutes, Dalton asked him, "Kevin, tell me honestly, how do you make such good predictions? You're like a prophet or something." Miranda, who was doing a lot better now, also looked at Kevin with interest. "I wouldn't go that far," Kevin replied nonchalantly. "I only read a few books about these subjects when I was bored." Suddenly, the driver slammed on the brakes, tossing the passengers around in their seats. "I'm very sorry about that, but there's a tree blocking the road." They all looked at where the driver was pointing, and sure enough, there was an enormous tree that had fallen across the road. There were also a few people standing in the road, scratching their heads and trying to figure out what to do. But Kevin thought to himself, something doesn't look right.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.
Pocket FM.
To unlock all the episodes, click the link in bio.